happening here? Not really much I like coming into today. The only thing I like is a pullback short off of 3280 on Tesla. Um, Pop and fade off of 250-220 here on SPY. This is a range break, but I'm not going to take that unless Q's falls under 581.10. Because if I take a pop and fade off of this and then Q's pulls back and holds 581.10 and fill the gap to the upside, I know why I got stopped out. So this week I've been noticing Q's has really been leading the overall market. So we'll see what sets up here coming into today. And then we had a very large gap down again in the market, which looks kind of strong right now pre-market. So if we're just filling the gap today, pretty much just hands off here. I'm not a gap fill trader, and I'm trading with the higher time frame. So we had another big move as well pre-market after hours. So won't be surprised if we just suck today. Tesla gave us that instant retest. Can't take that. Let's see if Q's ends up holding this. If Q's can break 581.10, I like to break and retest under that tomorrow's expiration. I wanted this pop and fade off Tesla. I'm still looking at this. That would be tomorrow expiration as well. But really reading Q's, if Q's holds this, kind of hands off here on Tesla. I really like Tesla if I can get a peak and fell. If we can get above 3280 and then fall right back under. Yeah, Tesla, I'm sorry, Q's is holding this 581. And you can see the reflection here on Tesla. So if Q's holds this 581, we could just pretty much see a gap fill reversal here. Like I said, we gapped all the way down. The previous day close is up here. So just another large gap. You can see pre-market and now we're trying to hold this at support. So let's see. SPY ended up giving that retest as well, right at open. For Tesla, I would be looking at the money puts on Tesla. Thing is, I'm just watching Q's. Q's is really trying to hold this 581.10. Yeah, tomorrow expiration on Tesla at the money contracts puts. You get that rejection. Just hard to take this trade with SPY and Q's. bouncing here, filling this gap. Yeah, that was a dot on Tesla. It's just a context. Be patient. I really like Qs. Qs and SPY are technically outside of the range now. Yeah, Tesla played out beautifully. SPY's heavy, so I'm just looking at Qs. Let's see if Qs can give us that. Man, Tesla would have paid. That was the dot I was looking for, of course. Of course. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, I've been trying to trade Tesla for 3 days now. Then it shows relative weakness. Oh, I like sucks. I'm just looking at I'm really just looking at Qs. It's only one near a Q level. It's holding this 581.10 pretty well. You can see it's moving SPY as well. So even the SPY pulls back up in the 652. Can't really take that with Q's holding 581. Sucks. Yeah. We've already moved so much here. Right, this is the previous day low, previous day close, and we're already down here. So we're already pretty extended here. I really wanted Tesla, but this thing was holding. SQs was holding this, so that was just a tough read. Especially with these conditions, I'm just being a little bit more conservative here. That's the thing here. I do like Qs, but yeah, we're very extended. I'm not expecting much today. Yeah, after hours is 588. Pre-market is 580. Yeah, that's a big move on the market itself. It's a big move on the market itself. See, I will look at the tomorrow's expiration. It's probably the 581 puts. Just at the money put since we're already pretty extended here. See if Tesla can give us another opportunity. I don't know. Tesla's in a clear downtrend. It's not the cleanest price action here on Qs. Yeah, a little bit of a peak and fail there. Yeah, Tesla gave you a quick payday for sure, but I mean, you can look at SPY and Qs and tell the price action is just terrible. We've already moved like over $10 pre-market and after hours. So in the indices themselves, that's pretty extended. Like I said, I think if we hold 581 here, we can look to fill this gap. Crazy, Tesla's already like back up here. So you can, that's a good indicator that it's just tough getting continuation and follow through on the plays. Yeah, and then if SPY gets back over the 652.20, I think we could just start to see this gap fill. That's a crazy V-shaped recovery here on Tesla. Yeah, that's wild. So just a morning squeeze to the downside. You can see Q's had a peak and fell. What do we do when we reclaim a key level? Feel that move to the upside. So what you're looking at here is just a morning squeeze. Past couple of months, price action hasn't been good on the market, obviously. But the one thing that I've noticed is we do fill the gaps on the market. It definitely fills these gaps. I will say that. So we just got a big breakout candle here on the SPY. I'm kind of just hands off on Tesla. As much as I want that, just you got a crazy V-shaped recovery, and then both SPY and Qs, are having some momentum to the upside, reclaiming key levels to fill this gap. Keep in mind, Tesla does have a gap as well here. Tesla ended up gapping down, so that's why I'm very patient at open, and I don't like gaps because you see something like this, and you would think like, okay, cool, the bears are in control, and you just get a crazy mean reversion like that. That's what's been making this market like pretty tough here. Like look at Tesla. You get a nice break and retest here off your key level, you get a flush, and then just an instant V-shaped recovery. Yeah, as long as this market's pushing like this, I'm kind of hands off on Tesla. I expect the market to just really fill this gap. Yeah, look at this 15-minute hold. That's crazy. Look at that wick. How strong buyers just stepped up. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't FOMO in a Tesla. Definitely would have been a winning trade no matter what. Right? You got that break to the lower day, you scale out, but instantly just gave that back. Like you definitely would have got stopped out on your runners. Let's see. Yeah, Tesla, Tesla. Mm. See the previous day close on Tesla. So Tesla's gap is 385.94. That's the previous day close there. It ended up working out kind of later, but I hope this initial skip makes sense. Like, yeah, we saw these wicks off our key level. I just didn't like this at open. She was holding 581.10. I did not like that. That's the only reason why I didn't take that trade. Looks we might just fill this gap. We're bearish bias on Tesla. We're in a downtrend, so I don't really care to take a long over 3280. Let's see. Yeah, this is ripping right now. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to skip Tesla, even if it sets up. This market's just too strong. You can see our bottom wicks forming here. We're trying to turn this into support now. Wicks here, resistance, wick here, support. We're trying to turn it into support. I will say the market's ripping pretty strong. Tesla's not following that much, but I wouldn't say there's too much relative weakness compared to the market. Contracts are all over the place. Like see how the market's pulling back and then Tesla's trying to hold up, and yeah, it's just not clean price action, unfortunately. And then it's kind of hard for me to short anything with this market being this strong, trying to fill this gap. Pretty annoying. Yeah. Like I said, coming into today, I really didn't see much that I liked. That's why I'm just watching the indices themselves, such as buying cues. And then Tesla looked really good pre-market. Like I said, technically a setup, right? That gave a good payday on options. You get paid on momentum. So that definitely gave a straight flush from 382 down to 379. So there's no doubt about that. But other than that, after that very big V-shaped recovery, and we made a new high here on Tesla, I'm pretty much just hands off here on shorts for obvious reasons, as you can see. Pretty in sync with the market here. Market pulled back. This first dip is getting bought up. You can see same here on Tesla. Right, pull back. This dip's getting bought up. Dip's getting bought up. Dip's getting bought up. So I figured that would be the case. We have 581.10 and on the cues, and looks like we're just going to fill this gap here to the upside. Here we go. Just pretty unfortunate. We were just sitting in this range. And then, of course, right, we get this big break. Didn't do anything. We get this big break during the pre-market and after hours. Key level being held on the dot here. And now we can just expect this move back up into 587.85 to retest this, which is the bottom of the range. Hopefully we can get that. That's what we were looking for on Tuesday. We broke under. You did get it. Didn't hold after hours. We gapped up. We did this yesterday. Got the sell off. Now let's see if we can actually hold under 587.85. If this sets up today, right, and this is a trade you want, I'll definitely eye it myself. Can't play this week's cons. It would have to be next week, like Monday or Tuesday, just because this is a breaker structure level, right? This is a break and retest in the higher time frame. We've already moved over $10 to the downside, which means $10, $8 to $10 back to the upside if we get up here. So shorting off of this, I wouldn't expect too much movement off the bat. It's a lot here for the Qs. Yeah. And this is what makes the market tough for a lot of people because, right, this definitely causes hesitation, right, for most. Like, I understand it. That's kind of been the talk lately. Just a lot of reversals, a lot of mean reversions, a lot of traps, right? So we've been really good on just waiting for proper displacement, understanding the liquidity traps, the bull traps. But yeah, it's definitely tough. 100%. Nothing on Microsoft. AMD, yeah, nothing there. Apple, nothing on Apple. Amazon, nothing there. Palantir, yeah. Yeah, across the board, there's nothing, honestly. This was a nice dip. You didn't even get a retest here. You just failed under this, and that fueled that move higher. I think that fuel really came here from SPY, right? SPY really gave you a nice little dip. All these bears got trapped, and then fueled that move higher. It's terrible across. When you look at all our other names, everything's just in a range. Palantir in a range, Apple in a range, uh, Amazon in a range. Uh, Microsoft showing relative strength. We're in a downtrend, but nowhere near a key level, so nothing there on Microsoft. So just across the board. AMD had a big day yesterday. Inside bar day today. Sitting dead smack in a channel. Just waiting for the range break here on AMD, which is over 225. If you go to our weeklies, go here to the weekly time frame. There's just been AMD in a range sideways. Like I said, we're waiting to get back to this. That's what we're waiting for. Look at that. Look at that. That's what we're waiting for. This is low probability. So everyone's trying to like step on the gas in these conditions, and you're not realizing the cons to our system. So, let's see. See, did we call this? It's close launch. Hmm. Yeah, we could have this on the dot here. Definitely. Pretty much gonna be hands off, right? For what? Yeah, we both gap down, both sitting at the bottom of the range. Key spot here, looking for the gap and go on these two. If we hold the bottom of the range, I'm hands off. We can just expect these gaps to get filled. So we're reading the market very well. Just nothing going on. Let's see. Yeah, like I specified, not much across the board. Like there's nothing that I really like here overall. So then you have to like because I did get asked like how come I don't play the reverse or the gap fill? To me, just not a high probability shot. And then you have to know your identity as a trader. Like I'm a break and retest continuation trader. Playing reversals and gap fills, that's not our system. So you avoid, taking trades that way. You're looking for the continuation. You can, right? It's a valid trade. It's just not my system. I'm deviating away from my system. I want to be with the overall market. So if SPY and Qs is in a downtrend, I don't really care for an intraday, reversal play. Tesla gets under 3280. I'm not touching that. Today's Thursday. So with tomorrow expiration, sometimes Tesla, those cons on Thursday can even look like a zero DTE the way they move. Should be nothing. And the thing here about SPY and Qs that also makes it a low probability trade to the downside, even if it does set up. It's like I said, we've already moved over $10, right? A name like Tesla, that moves $15 to $20 on average on the intraday. So on average, Qs and SPY moves maybe $3 to $5, $7 on a really good day. So to have over a $10 move, overnight, you have to think of it as, all right, what's the probabilities of this name moving another $4, $5, right, to the downside? So that being overextended is another reason why I was like, yeah, I'm kind of hands off here. And these dips are getting bought up very aggressively. Like, look at that. There's got to be something going on. Let me look at the news. It's got to be something. I'm assuming. Uh, see anything on the news. The only thing on Forex is Forex Factories. Trump does speak today at 1 p.m. Yeah, Trump speaks today at 1 p.m. So it's the only like current news I'm seeing. Like I said, guys, I know it's very tedious and frustrating, but we will get paid for our patience when this market breaks the range. There's a lot of people that has blown accounts trying to trade in these conditions. So just continue to be conservative, right? You just got to remember the conditions that our system thrives in, which is trending markets, continuation. A lot of these names are just stuck in consolidation. It's been a record-breaking amount of cash days for me, but remember, not trading is still trading. Let's see. To each their own. Sometimes I look across the board, I'm like, how do people see a trade with this price action? Like, there's no way you see a trade. There's no way. There's no way you would look at Tesla right now and say, okay, I like longs to the upside. Or like, there's just no way, unless you just really want to take a trade. Let's see. And then after this week, I'm most likely here on NVIDIA. I'm just gonna like treat this entire thing as a no trade zone. Right? You can see NVIDIA has really done nothing this week. We did turn this into support yesterday, but so far this week, so far three out of the last 4 days, we've just been in between 178 and 174. We held the bottom of the range here, 170. That led to that. But go here, it's a low probability environment across the board. Like going into next week, I'm just going to treat NVIDIA like this. I'm not going to touch this name until we break, if or when we break 170, we're going to break and retest over 192. This is what we want. That's mass continuation. Since the start of this year, every single day has been, I'm sorry, every single week has been an inside bar week. Like there's no clear direction. This is a low probability environment. Death by 1,000 cuts. So there's no edge in here, right? When we trade with the higher time frame key levels, higher time frame analysis, we're putting the odds in our favor by doing so. When you're trading in here, there's nothing in your favor. Right? It's a coin flip. So I hope that breakdown makes sense there. Even when you go here on the daily, look at the video. It's terrible. That is terrible. Right? This is what I was breaking down. At least on Tesla, you can see there's a clear downtrend here on Tesla. Not the cleanest price action, but at least there's a clear downtrend that we can see here. When you go on Qs, not the best price action, but clear downtrend here. NVIDIA is just stuck in a range. And then so far, it looks like this week or the new area on Qs is like 591 and 581. We were stuck in here forever. Now we're just starting to sit in here on the daily. It's not ideal. This 581.10 is a very strong level. Yeah, if we hold this week, tomorrow is Friday, 577.35 on the weekly time frame, very strong support. I'm hoping we can stay heavy, right, and just get the weekly candle to close under here. I don't want us to close back in here. That's like 4 to 6 weeks, 7 weeks of just doing nothing. So we got to stay heavy. We can definitely expect some movement if Trump is speaking about the war and peace talks at 1 p.m. And then, of course, that's after the market's closed, right? So we're either going to gap up or gap down. Another cash day, Noah. Another cash day. Is this the last? This is the last week of yeah, we got two more trading days. Well, three more trading days of this month. Bro, that's wild. Out of the last 3 weeks, I think I can count how many trades I've taken on one hand. I think out of the last 3 weeks, what did we take? What three? Yesterday was our first trade out of six trading days, right? We had six cash days in a row, and then we took a trade. Was that yesterday or 2 days ago? I can't remember. I think it was 2 days ago on Monday on Tesla. Yeah, it was. I can't remember. Just haven't been doing anything. Yeah, bro. And then, when people try and like trade off of, the PDL, the PDH, the pre-market high, yeah, that's cool, but you have to take those trades when like it's aligned, right? You have to learn how to think in probabilities and take high probability shots. So if a market's trending to the downside and you're looking for, a break and retest over pre-market to the upside, pre-market high, and whatever name that is most likely sitting in a channel and in a range, like, yeah, you're going to lose that trade. That's a low probability trade. So yeah, it's wild. I think just when yeah, yeah, bro. No, yesterday I went to, hmm, no, I have legs today. But yeah, I was just explaining like when you trade for so long, I don't know, to each their own. It's you're able to just realize like, yeah, it's a low probability environment. Like there's nothing here. Like if you're trying to trade in this and you lose and you're shocked why you lost and you blame the system, it's like, no, brother. No trade zone. It's for a reason. It's a low probability environment. The higher probability shot is a break and retest outside of the channel. And then, right, it's just more calm to trade that way because now you just let your trades come to you. Whenever you're in here, like I'm not looking for anything in here. Where you see something like this and you're like, okay, cool, I'm gonna take a break and retest over the PDH, which is fine, but is that sustainable for your next 100 trades, right? Is that a high probability shot? Think about your next 100 trades. It's not because you're practicing a bad habit. You're getting rewarded for trading dead smack in the middle of a channel, right? It's a 50-50 coin flip, if that. Yeah, he's a great trader too, though. He's really good. Yeah, I've been trying to teach people, but I think my way is like very boring because I'm giving you the most simplistic way. And then exactly. So teach your own. Like I always say, there's no right or wrong way to trade. But learning how to think in probabilities is something I found out years ago, and it really helped. And that's why like the only two things you can control is like your emotions and your risk. So when you're thinking about your risk, that's also thinking about, okay, is this a high probability shot? Yeah. And that's why I said like I started winning a lot more when I started trading less. You have to ask yourself, is this an A plus setup? If it's not, why are you taking the trade? Easier said than done. Don't get me wrong. It's easier said than done. But discipline, right? Following your rules. From one of my rules, break and retest, no trade zone. If I take a trade in here and I lose that trade, I broke a rule. How do I avoid a loss? Sticking to my rule. No trade zone equals no trade. Well, exactly. Yeah, bro, this has been, I would say the last 2 months, but for sure this month has been like a record-breaking cash days for me. So far this week, tomorrow's going to be Friday. I've only taken one trade this week. I didn't take anything last week. Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at that across the board as well. I think I think that's one of the things about like um honestly I'm blessed to have like the individuals I have in my Discord because no one's like ever, oh, we need to take trades, we need to do this, dude. Like everyone gets it. Everyone's just very calm, practicing good habits. But I know those who run a Discord, you got all these members, they're it's hard to not take a trade, right? It's gonna be very hard to have like a Discord with thousands of members and then have like 2 weeks in a row of just not taking a trade. Like some people are gonna get antsy for sure. You know what I mean? So I think there's for sure pressure from that as well for because dude, across the board, people are getting smacked. People are getting smacked. Yeah. It's two different things, right? It takes honestly, yeah, it takes you just gotta have the mindset for it to be able to trade like live in front of people, right? Is I'm telling you, it's different. It's different than just it's just you, right? You and no one else versus all right, people are watching what you're doing. So it's like you gotta be built for it or not. It's two different things for sure. I think you can't do it if you're so focused on not trying to lose. That's why I would say like, I'm a great loser. I don't care. Like if you think you're gonna trade and avoid losing, you might as well try and find another hobby, another career. So, yeah, we'll probably call it here at 7:13. I'm sorry, 7:30, guys. It's a good friend of mine's. You know what? You got work today at the restaurant? No, I have lasers today. It's probably be on Star Wars. But you have to take a video of that. I'm genuinely curious on what that looks like. I'm genuinely curious. All right, so Les, for the email I sent you, did you invest into any of those stocks or just like whatever you looked into it? Like you've been doing? I mean, to each your own, bro. Because I have a oh, okay, bet. Like we're both young, so whenever I talk about my long-term portfolio, like I don't really care what it's doing, 2 months from now, 2 weeks from now. You really just got to turn the other cheek. So as SPY, continues to pull back, I'm just gonna look to add every time it just continues to pull back. I'm already pretty exposed, but it's called long-term for a reason. So, people have this habit of trying to, perfect timing, this and that, but everyone wants to buy when we're sitting up here, right? Like, no, this year we were already up here, and now we're already down at 652. So as it pulls back, right, I would just look to buy. At least that's how I treat SPY. All the other tech names that I invest in, very different. But SPY itself, I don't care. So, yeah, you're on the right track, bro. You're on the right track. As soon as this market heats up, I'm gonna tell you when to add to your. I think you think I should wait. Yeah, for sure. Because honestly, if you really want to buy more dips here on the SPY, I mean it's 50-50, right? Because who knows? Because I was gonna say like wait for let's see what happens with the war, but who knows, man? I mean, let's say the war ends, I wouldn't be surprised. The market can jump. When we actually gapped up, I think it was yesterday when there was talks of ceasefire. So it could go either way. That's the thing, though, is you don't want to, and it's still very early in the year as well, right? So it's early in the year. I kind of want the market to pull back. We've already been making all-time highs. So the way I would look at it is, don't wait too much. Like looking for that deeper pullback. I think that's where a lot of people go wrong is they wait, and then maybe we have a recovery bounce. So you can't go wrong now. Like just there's no perfect buy or sell. But the thing is, as long as you're not buying when we're up here, which is like what most people try and do, you're fine. That's how I'm looking at it. So you can wait for another pullback, sure. As long as it's not up here, you're good. That's how I would look at it. Like the market's made to go up. The market wants to go up. So just keep that in mind. See here. Yeah, this is a crappy day. This is just a crappy day. We called on the dot though. I said if we hold these two, we're just gonna fill the gap. We can just see some upside and fill the gap. I'm not a reversal trader. I'm not a gap fill trader, right? Less is more. Because then you're just looking for all this, and then I'm good. I'm good. Just elite. Just like don't let anyone tell you differently. These conditions are tough, tough. Like I'm human too. Like this almost took that, almost took that. But the only reason I didn't take that is because we were holding this. Did a little bit of FOMO kick in here? Hell yeah, for sure. But I stuck to my rule. Still wish I took it. Not gonna deny that. Still wish I took it, but mm, oh no. See, the thing about yeah, it's a tough one. The thing about Apple, we're very extended now, right? You would want to like open up here and then get that range break. We moved from 250, we're up to 255. That's a big move here. I love seeing my key level be respected here, right? And then also, like I said, you would look for a pullback. Yeah, it's a strong trend. It's a strong trend here. Even though I said I was looking for a pullback short on this name as well, just the market strong. Yeah, that was a dot, right on the dot by 1 cent. 1 cent. Got that rejection. It's just too strong of a trend for me right now. I would like to see like a double top. Every dip's just been getting bought up here. See what I mean? Every dip's just been getting bought up. And I just don't think I can call Apple out. We're so extended. It's a big breakout. That's a big breakout. Damn. Let's see if Apple gives us a setup. It's a range break, built up liquidity, so you may get a blow off top here, which means no retest. You look at tomorrow expiration at the money contracts. Tomorrow expiration at the money contracts. You just be very, you want to be cautious here on this retest though. Because if we don't hold, it's just a peak and fail. I'm not that trader though who fights the trend. Yeah, the cleanest price actions here on Apple. The thing is, the momentum's died down too. Apple doesn't really move that well on the underlying. So if this is just a slow name with like little to no momentum, that's something to keep in mind as well. Hmm. Yeah, Apple's just one of those random names that's just every blue moon. Hmm. Yeah, like look at Tesla. Terrible. Yeah, Apple gave some clean price action today. I definitely wouldn't have taken this. Just dead smack in the middle of the channel and then in between the previous day high and low, not near a key level. It's not trending to the upside, so you wouldn't look for a PDL reclaim. So you really just got this break above here. Right, Tesla ends up playing out. Kind of knew what we were looking for here. Like the bears are in control on Tesla. It's just terrible price action. Most likely we'll skip this on Apple. We're just so extended. Very, very extended. If you would want this, you could look for like a long on this retest, deeper the pullback, the better, and just really a scalp into the high day. It's just I know how Apple moves on the underline, and then tomorrow expiration. So for me, just really not worth the risk. Wish we would have got this break right at open, a little closer, but we literally opened up under the previous day low and trended all the way up to the top of the range. Let's see here. There's on the 15 minute. This is a pretty big range break here on Apple. Look at that. If only we could have like started the day up here and then got that range break, that would have been solid. Yeah, I'm not taking I definitely need a deeper pullback here. I started off like ended up breaking that. Every dip is starting to get bought up here. And then you just can't let FOMO kick in because the way I see it, if we get a daily candle closure over 255.55 here tomorrow, I would just be looking for the pullback long off of this, right? We just broke a key level on the intraday. Obviously, we have to wait to see how the daily close. Who knows? We could tank to the downside. Trump speaks at 1. We don't know if those news are going to be positive or negative. But a pullback long, right? A break and retest off a weekly level sounds really good to me. Right, going into tomorrow, if that sets up. We're so extended. Like look at the price action we had in the range 250 up to 255. And now look what we've been doing since we broke 255, just sitting sideways. We're on a very nice trend. And now that we broke the range, just sitting sideways. So it's very extended here on Apple. This is really what we're missing across the board on the market. Just these nice trendy days. So I'll be cautious here as well. Even if you look for this, you would have to make sure, right? Because then it could just be a peak and fail, right? Liquidity grab, back to the downside. Let's see, makes sense. And because CQ is sitting flat. Hmm. If you're a breakout trader, this is like an A plus setup. Reaction right off and then a breakthrough. That's exactly what you would want to see as a breakout trader. Mostly nothing here from me. Definitely gonna call it. Like I said, I did like Apple, but we're so extended. Very, very extended. If it was a name like Tesla, maybe, but Apple does not move that good on the underlying. So when you trade this name, you need momentum in your favor, especially with tomorrow's expiration cons. Yeah, strike out of the money. The delta's not even at 40. Gonna break out of here. Yeah, we hold this on the daily. I'll just be looking for a pullback short. I'm sorry, pullback long tomorrow. Big if. You know, like this is no coincidence, right? You get this nice, beautiful trend. We break the range. Now we're just extended. And since we broke, we've just been doing this. That's not a coincidence. We just already had a big move here on Apple. It's crazy, but we're already coming up to the end of quarter one. Where does time go? Birthday's like less than a month. That's crazy. We go to Toronto, pick up a Drake. Your birthday's like in November, right, Noah? Since I see you every Thanksgiving. Who knows? Next year though, what does your girl, does her fam have like gatherings for Thanksgiving? So who knows, bro? I may not see you then if she does. It's been a tradition. All right, cool. November. I'm gonna get you your first Rolex, bro. That'd be my gift from me to you. I'm give you your first Rolex. Don't say I didn't do anything for you. I just don't be out here gifting Rolexes. All right. With all these cash days, it's gonna be a. That's funny. I don't even know what that is. It's great. It low-key, it worked out for me in hindsight because the start of January, well, the month of January was good, and then started February off hot. And because lately, right, even if I do take a trade, my average position size has been about 7,000, maybe 10. But going into the end of the year, bro, I had like those 4 months, I was hot. Like those 4 months, which is November, taking off everything. I was hot. So starting the year off, or starting off Q1, I ended up scaling up like crazy. Like my average size, like I know how to do my jumps and control risk. So I went from like 20,000 to like 30 to 40,000 for a trade, the start of the year. And then I pulled it back once the market started going into like that last week of FOMC. I say all that to say that's what really like built me cushion, right? Just taking those winning trades, but with scaled up position. And then now, since I've scaled down tremendously and haven't been taking any trades, that in hindsight, that really helped me out. Unintentionally though, right? None of us expected the market to be arranged like this. But the smartest thing I did was like scale it back. Like, all right, the market's trash right now. So I'm just going in with about 7 to 10, mainly 7 until we break this range. So we'll see. Yeah, nothing here on Apple. We'll see what sets up tomorrow. I think Apple is a tomorrow play. It all depends on how this daily candle closes. Because then I just want to see this channel turn into support. So you can see we had this resistance. I'm sorry, support, resistance. Now we're getting that breakout. I want to see this hold as support. So, all right, see you tomorrow, fam. I'm out of here too. I will see you guys on the next one.